Penguins 5-1-1 in their last 7. Jason Mackey, does this mean they have turned the corner?
Yes, it does, Pump. They're doing a lot of things better right now. They're getting secondary scoring. You're seeing Brian Rust come alive. Zach Aston-Reese has found himself a nice little spot with Evgeny Malkin and Phil Kessel. I know we're going to get into the Malkin talk. They certainly need more from him. They're getting better goaltending. The Penguins might not be a Stanley Cup contender at this point, but they're certainly an upper-level playoff team with the possibility for more. They have some issues they need to figure out. Third-line center is one, but yes, they have turned a corner. They're in a different place right now.
I'm not buying that. I mean, because they just lost a few days ago to the Chicago Blackhawks, so I'm not going to treat them now.
So they stink?
No, they're
one of the
no, they're an average team. I think they're an average team right now that happens to.
You can be an average team and get in the playoffs, though.
Okay.
Fair in the NHL.
But see, we're in Pittsburgh. We're not in Buffalo or one of these places where just getting into the playoffs is good enough. Who's their number one goaltender? What is Derek Brassard? What defenseman after Chris Letang and Brian Dumoulin and Justin Schultz I'll throw in there when he gets healthy can you count on in a big spot in a playoff series? So I still got a lot of doubts about this team. I'm with Jason on them getting into the playoffs, but I think they've got a ceiling this year. I really do.
I think the key is with the goalie. Like you said, Matt Murray, until he's able to play and be that number one guy, that guy you can count on day in and day out, I don't think you can say this team has turned the corner because Casey DeSmith has played well, but he has a limit. Matt Murray is a guy that has 2 rings, 2 cup runs, and until he figures things out and plays like he's did in the past, I don't think this team has turned the corner.
I like what Casey DeSmith has done. I think you may say limit, but I'm willing to wait and see how long that limit goes. But
Bob, he's a backup goaltender.
Okay, I understand that. But at the time when Murray was up here before they won the first cup, again, he was Matt Murray. We didn't know anything. You let him go and you see what happens. My point is we should have learned about sports that sometimes you got to wait and see. Anyway, I want to ask you about Malkin, since you brought it up, Jason, because it is an enigma. Everybody knows when he's on, he's terrific. But then when he goes into some of these malaise or whatever you want to call it, I mean, he's like a minus 15 over his last 22. When was his last even strength goal?
He had one recently, but before that, a long time. It's one even strength goal in 21, 22 games, something like that. I mean, it's not good enough, Pomp. It really isn't.
What has to happen?
He has to shoot the puck more, for one. He's not attempting nearly enough shots. I did a story recently where I think 12 Penguins have more than his number of shot attempts over this 20-game stretch. I mean, he's just not aggressive enough with his shot. I don't think he's hurt, but if somebody told me he was injured or battling something, I wouldn't be shocked. They need to sit down and have a conversation with him and figure out what the heck's going on because it's not good enough right now.
All right, you guys have a comment real quick?
Yeah, I'll just say this. Quick. I'm not worried about him yet. The situation with Sprong that's going to manifest itself tomorrow night I'm interested in. I don't think they should have let the guy go.
I honestly think Malkin misses Hagelin a little bit. Hagelin does the dirty work for him, and I think he misses him a lot. And I mean, let's figure out when did this scoreless streak or his struggle started. Probably when they traded Hagelin.
Well, I got to tell you, too, when I watched Sprong the other night in Columbus, that shot he put in overtime looked like Phil Kessel. Same release, same spot.
He's cheaper and younger, too, Bob.
I like this shot.
Not a Sullivan
John's
guy.
Getting impatient. We got to go to a break. We'll do it. Come back. Talk Pirates next, right here on the #1 Conference Sports Showdown.